Hello, everybody, and welcome to the coverage of the World Series of Board Gaming's semi-final game. This is the Wingspan that is being brought to you, one of the four semifinals that happened at the event. My name is Chris George, but you're not here to see me. I am joined by 2023's reigning champ, Angela Tao, and also the winner, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet, of Wingspan for 2024. Angela, how are you doing?
I'm good, Chris. Thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be here to share you a bit what I think about the final game of Wingspan. I'm super
Yeah.
excited as well.
And this is, why don't you describe for the viewers too? This is a unique process because this is the semifinal game, which means all of these players. We have three players. We have the winner of Arc Nova, we have the winner of Splendor, and we have the winners of Castles of Burgundy, what you won in 2023. They're all facing off in this game. How has that feeling been? You've now been in two different semifinals in 2023 and 2024. What is the experience of this semifinal game?
Um, Semifinal game, I would say, is probably the most nerve-wracking game for me out of
Yeah.
all the games because once you get into semifinals, you're so close to getting into finals,
Yeah.
and so close to the grand title. But also for semifinals, we don't know until 12 hours before the game itself what we're gonna play the next day,
Yeah.
and it is very possible we're gonna draw games that we're not good at, which actually happened to me this year. So semifinals to me is the most exciting and most nerve-wracking game.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
a re-
sure.
yeah, it's a really tough one. It's a really exciting one just to watch from the outside, but I can only imagine being in it, the nerves and having stayed up for a certain amount of time. How late did you stay up in both 2023 and 2024?
2023, I was really lucky.
Yeah.
I drew Gaia Project,
Yeah,
so I
nice
just
easy game of Gaia Project. Nothing to worry about there. Certainly not a complex game whatsoever.
no, no. Actually, I think this is like a very lucky thing for me because I drew Gaia Project with a bunch of people who's never really played Gaia Project before. I wouldn't say I'm the expert for Gaia Project, but if you have never played Gaia Project, for someone is like okay at Gaia Project like me, there's like no way for them to make up for one night.
Yeah.
So I felt very confident for that. But this year, on the other hand, I drew a game raw, which I actually never played before, and auction and bidding is type of mechanism that I really am not good at. So I stayed up pretty late until I think 3 a.m.
Wow.
before the game. I think I saw that Andrew and Melinda stayed up pretty late as well.
Yeah, they were
Um,
they were later than you, hey?
Probably around the same time. But
Around the
June, on the other hand, I think he was also very confident because he also have signed up for Wingspan for his ring game as
Ah,
well. Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so that's a little bit of insight going in. June might be the one to watch. If people are unaware of the outcome of this game, they may be aware if you've seen the final table. You probably know who might move on. But what do you say, Angela? Should we turn it over to the players and meet our semifinalists?
Let's go ahead.
All right, in seat one, we have Andrew Law. Andrew is a familiar face to you, Angela, as he came in second at the Splendor final. You and he tied, and you beat him on a tiebreaker. He's the Arc Nova champion 2 years in a row, won Arc Nova both times to get his way into the semifinals. And we'll see if that animal affinity with all the animals of Arc Nova gives him an edge. Seat two, we have Melinda Lin, a new competitor this year. Melinda only entered into Splendor. Melinda said, yeah, I just need one ring ticket. That's all I need. I just need one shot. Came in, won Splendor, and is now in the semifinals, which I think is incredible. And then June Kim, who won Castles of Burgundy. That's the one that you won last year in 2023. Yeah. We have him appearing. This is his first ring win as well. Both Melinda and June, their first ring wins in the World Series competition. All three intrepid bird watchers are about to get birding. And they're sitting down at the table right now.
All Raven, Common Raven, Franklin Gold,
we see Melinda just refreshing with some of the rules of WSBG.
Yeah, she's studying very hard on the rules. I think she was asking about the rules about playing strong birds, whether you're allowed to play them in the first turn.
Yeah. Yeah, in the first round. Do you remember offhand the WSBG, the 4 that are excluded?
So I think it's 2 ribbons and Franklin Gull and
to make things more interesting.
yeah, it's skipping my head right now.
The killdeer?
The killdeer.
Killdeer is the 4th. Yeah, we have the common raven, the Franklin's gull, the killdeer,
every single advantage I have.
And the Chihuahua
I'm here
raven.
for any questions, of course.
Yeah.
So feel free to ask me at any time. If you're in a situation where you would like to ask a question privately to avoid revealing...
And sitting behind Andrew is actually the raw table that I was in.
Nice.
Yeah, I was sitting next to Alan, so it was blocked from this angle.
Right.
Tell you whatever you need.
We're just
So
hearing from
Andrew,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just hearing from the judges, just saying if there are any questions as well, and you need to ask a specific card power, you can step away from the table and ask the judge in private, so you don't have to announce it to the whole table. Hey, like if I'm playing this, they want to make sure that there's no you play it, you think it's doing something different, and then it's not doing the thing that you said, because like you said, some of these players may have never played Wingspan before. I mean, Wingspan's a fairly popular game. Likely they have played it a bit, but also the stakes are pretty high right now.
Yeah, I think all of them have played Wingspan before, but the familiarity level is different for sure.
Yeah.
Some of the board elements.
Divvying out the first round, the round goals.
So for the first round, we're looking at number of birds in wetland. And the second round is birds that can lay eggs in the ground nest.
Yeah.
And the third round is eggs in bowl nests. And the fourth round is birds with cavity nest. Yeah.
So a lot of specific egg laying as the open round goals are. Generally, I think we see this zoom in that I think is going to show the round goals as they shift things in just a second. But the key goal this time around is I think the birds in the wetlands, because I don't know about you, and I'm going to be asking you for your advice all throughout this game, as you are the reigning Wingspan champion, Angela. But do you often what areas of the board do you like to develop in that first round?
You hit it on the nail. It's absolutely wetland. If there's one habitat that I want to focus on, it is definitely wetland.
You would want to opt for wetland first over developing that food engine?
I mean, yeah, I think if we can develop a small food engine by playing one or two sheep, bird card in forests, for sure. But I think for the first 2 rounds of the game, card draw is what is going to make or break the game.
Right.
Because Wingspan is a game that has very high variance. All depends on the kind of card you draw. So the more card draw you can get in the first 2 rounds, the better you're prepared to build a perfect board for the last 2 rounds and score tons of points.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's not necessarily an angle that I want to gravitate towards. I always think, okay, I've got these 5 birds in my hand to start. I've chosen the best ones. I have to focus solely around these birds. But knowing that there's a huge deck filled with birds that you may need to parse through to get to those, and specifically to get to those round goals in round 2, round 3, and round 4 in this particular instance, where you need the birds with those specific nests. I think that's a really interesting one.
Exactly. I think the thing is you should not try to play towards your starting hand. You should play to get more cards so that you can build a perfect hand.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think Andrew and Melinda has played the first 2 birds, and Andrew played a crow, which in exchange 1 egg for any food resource. And Melinda has played, let me see, the red-bellied woodpecker.
Yeah.
So that bird, you can gain 1 seed from bird feeder if it's available, or you can catch it on a card.
And I really like the red-bellied woodpecker as well.
Yep.
Because of that option, right? You may cash it on the card. So later on down the line, when you don't need that wheat anymore, you can use it. You can have a lot more flexibility and just start accruing points if you are taking that food action.
Right.
Yeah, the crow is sort of a really nice play, especially in the WSBG rules, because you can't start off with a raven. Obviously, the ravens are a little bit more powerful versions of the crow, but it's a nice card to get in that starting hand to give you that flexibility. One thing that I've learned from watching these games over the course of time is the idea of getting that different action into a row. So in the egg-laying row, it's nice to have a way to also get food or to also draw cards, right? To get that variability with that one action, I think is something that I personally look out for.
Yeah, that's right. Especially having some food engine in grassland is also very powerful because forest birds towards the end of the game becomes less useful. So if you still want to have food, it's better if it's from the grassland. So you can get points while you're getting some food. Yeah, my favorite play is some food engine and card drawing engine in grassland. So I can grab any sort of bird I like and getting the food in the same go. So it looks like Andrew has played another crow in his grassland.
Oh yeah, the fish crow.
The fish crow.
I'm also gonna play bird.
And Melinda's following right up by playing another bird. We'll see where she goes, but she took the egg, so I think we might see it up in the food.
Yeah, I think she has played the mountain chickadee.
Yeah.
It's another cash seed, cash wheat on that card.
Interesting. That feels like potentially. Oh no! But you can only cash it from the supply on the bird.
You can only cash it for that one.
Right.
Yeah,
you don't have the option of keeping it. I was going to say if you had the option of keeping it for both, I wouldn't be that thrilled about that diversity. But it feels like then she's got the potential to get 2 points every time she runs that food engine. She's already up to those 2 food dice, which gives her a pretty strong advantage. But June has also played one down below and is working on that first round goal.
Yes.
And he I believe played the violet green swallow, which just allows him to have more cycle with his cards. Again, looking for those cards that you really, really want. You can tuck a card and draw a card. It's basically a free point and a free cycle, which is a really nice one to have down there to start your wetlands engine.
Exactly. Well, speaking of card draws, we can take a look at the cards in the food tray right now. But it happens to be those 3 are probably the worst birds of the whole game. So we have, on the very left-hand side, we have the horned lark. Horned lark is a terrible card because of the pink power is pretty bad because every time a player lays an egg into grassland, you can tuck a card behind it. It is a terrible pink power. And the second card in the middle is the blue grosbeak. It is absolutely the worst card in the whole game because I actually read some statistics on BGG. Out of all the cards, this card is the least played among good players on BGA. Yeah.
Because its power is essentially if it's to the right of anything, it can move, and so it can help bounce around and support things. But it's a really expensive bird. It costs 2 wheat and one worm, and it's only worth 4 points as well.
Yeah.
So now
The only saving grace for this game is it has a bow nest. So
Right.
yeah, works for the goal for round 3.
Yeah.
But it is just a not good bird to have. There are much cheaper and much better migrating birds like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna gain 1 from the bird.
And the
feeder,
last card
put it
we have
here,
is Northern Flicker.
and I will not
So
cash
when you
it.
play that card, you can get all the worms inside the bird feeder.
Right.
So
But it's
this card can be good, yeah, situational, but obviously we don't have any worms here, so it might be a bad card to pick
Yeah.
up right now.
You should only have 4 keys.
Yeah, it does have that flexibility of being in the forest or the grasslands, and it only costs 1 food, right? It's either a worm, a wheat, or a cherry.
Yeah, I paid for food,
Mhm.
and I put it here, and that was correct.
Yeah, I mean, I will get that card if I really want some bird in my forest.
Yeah, bird and
Right.
So it is playable, unlike the other two.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a good point of the bull nest. It's interesting. Now we've seen the camera has shifted, the players have shifted the mat back into our view. We can see the 3 different types of nests that I think the players are gonna all work towards. And it's interesting, like the red-bellied woodpecker is only gonna help Melinda into that round 4. Now the round 4 end goal is worth the most points, 7 points. So it's potentially worth working towards. But right now, as the board stands, there's no... June's got this locked up for those that free 4 points at the beginning.
And yes, exactly. And he has looked it more up by playing that black turn, which has a star nest. So for
Yes, very
a
nice.
game like this,
Very
you
nice.
want
Great for the
as many
moment.
star birds as possible,
Yeah.
because you can count towards all the goals.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. A star nest, especially with this breakdown of the goals, is incredibly valuable. That has set like June so far ahead into
I thought it
winning
was
all of
cute,
the
actually,
end
until
round
you
goals.
mentioned it was canon.
Yes.
Then I
And the
realized.
brown activity, the brown ability for that black turn is you can draw one more card, but you have to discard 1. But when Jun goes to the wetland right now, he can actually draw a total of 4 cards, compared to if Melinda and Andrew, if they're drawing cards, they can only draw 1 card. So
Right.
Jun is seeing 3 more cards compared to Melinda and Andrew. So I think it is a huge advantage at the very start of the game, because, as I said, you want to draw as many cards as possible to better your odds.
And especially too when we're limited by not an ideal spread on the open market as well. Like if those were 3 really great birds, you've seen the 3 options, you can be like, okay, don't need to prioritize draw as much right now. Maybe I can take a pass and develop these 2 different engines. It's really interesting to see that all 3 players have just gone for one habitat.
Yeah, exactly. And they each have very strong habitat, I have to say. Yeah, but personally, I think I would, if I was playing the game, I would probably be playing like June more.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay 1.
Especially because when, like you said, the cards in the trays are so bad, I absolutely don't want to draw from it. So if I have to draw, I probably have to draw blind. So if you have to draw blind, drawing 4 cards versus drawing 1 card gives just gives so much better odds.
Now, an interesting play for Melinda just happened. Got that double wheat that she needed to play the California quail, which lays an egg on the bird. Now getting that diversity of action up into the food as well. So we'll be getting 3 food every time should she desire, and laying 1 egg every time she activates that top row. That does feel very exciting to me, but again, it depends upon the what food are you looking for, right?
Right. I think she can, if she wants, she can even get 4 food, because she can discard a card to turn that into a food. So it's very strong forest engine for sure.
And we see June doing exactly what you talked about, now going through and searching for the cards that he needs.
Exactly. I think, it's the first time he is activating the wetland in this round. I think Melinda is out of cards, and so is Andrew.
Yeah, which puts them in a tough spot. They have to waste an action essentially just to draw one card. And do they draw from the center if they're looking for something that can develop that wetland? Because presumably they'll want to start developing that wetland area.
I kind of wonder if they have any wetland birds at all in their starting hand, because based on whatever card they play, I mean, especially for Melinda, there's no card at all for wetland.
Yeah.
I wonder if she just had really bad luck, or she was just not paying so much emphasis on wetland at all.
Yeah, so you can count.
It's slightly more information, but it makes very little sense.
Speaking of which, for Andrew, I think
I don't know the birds.
if I were him, I would probably put the second fish crow into the wetland.
Rather than just having a really strong egg activation up top.
The only reason is because actually two reasons. The first reason is for the first round go, right? The first round go, we need to have birds in wetland, and the second of all is if you have no card drawing engine, you're gonna suffer quite a bit. And now we see that he's actually drawing the grosbeak from the tray, and revealed a wobbler. Right now.
I mean, a good pick, I feel, if he had drawn off the top, he would have been stuck with something with a white power. So potentially between those two choices, with the benefit of hindsight, maybe that was the right call.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also like, imagine if you can draw four blank cards, you know, then, because the distribution of all the cards are pretty even among different habitats.
That's true.
But also, yeah,
I think there's something like 221 forest, 217 grassland, 214 wetland, something along those lines.
Sounds about right.
just a close. I'm getting that from the Wing Search website that I have up on my screen while we're commentating on this, so that we can search the birds as well to make sure that we're saying what they do correctly. And so it has a little bit of a listing of the different habitats where you can filter them. So those are the numbers at least that are on there. I will reveal my secrets to the audience.
Okay. I thought your secret was you are a great Wingspan player.
I mean, I
remember all these 270 cards.
Yeah, I'll edit that other part out.
That's a long
It's
time.
that one. It's that one.
But given the circumstances, like, I agree, drawing a grosbeak is not the worst Andrew can do, because he already has the food. I think he was getting the food towards hitting that bird. So if he plays that in the wetland, now he suddenly has 2 card draws instead of 1. So
yeah. And then he can bounce it around too, which is helpful. And it does contribute to that round 3 goal, but again, a star nest would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously drops it into the wetlands instead of the food, because we know he needs additional card draw, and he has some eggs saved up top.
Yeah, I don't think he would ever play any forest bird for this game at all, except if you're dropping some high point birds like a wobbler.
Yeah, because he's got all the food that he could need in the grasslands, and there's no goal that he needs to worry about pertaining to forest birds.
Exactly. So, Melinda, what are you gonna do?
We had a moment earlier too, just to highlight for those watching. The players were laughing and joking about if the discard pile is face up or face down, and they opted for face down because they felt that Andrew would be counting all the cards using his Arc Nova counting technique. So they all said, nope, you know what? Melinda says, I certainly can't count the cards, so I don't want anybody counting the cards. Let's go for face down. But it's nice to see there's been a lot of like laughter and camaraderie around the table. That's something that if you watch the final of Splendor as well, Melinda really, really brought to the table as well. Just a fun competitor to watch and to play games with.
Yeah, she was such a gem. I had the opportunity to interact with her a little bit, and yeah, really liked her personality. Looks like she's getting some food. I'm kind of wondering what kind of food she's looking for, because she doesn't really have a card in hand, or does she?
Yeah, I'm looking. It's kind of off screen, but if we look at her player cam, she has some card in front of her, so maybe she has something saved up. But she did take the draw bird card action one time, so I think that might have been. She might be working towards that right now.
Gotcha. Okay, she did draw a card last turn from the deck.
Yeah, I think we just must have missed it.
Yeah.
We were too busy talking about how great a Wingspan player I am and how I have all the knowledge at my fingertips.
That's more important to talk about and let the world know for sure.
Yeah, then highlight these three incredible players.
Jun now has 2 cards in his hand. He's probably gonna draw another card. I have the hunch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's flirting. Yeah, your hunch is correct.
I think the wobbler is a good pick. I see. Okay, so he drew the first card from the deck.
The benefit being that you can look at the cards before deciding if you want to draw from that center area.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad. He'll probably want to develop that upper row, but we'll see if he draws anything that he likes better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, he does draw that wobbler. So right now, if I were him, the things I would be looking for is either some food, production card in grassland, or some really great card in forest in general.
Yeah. And we'll see him. He's reaching into the other cards that he had as to which card he's going to discard, going to tuck under that violet bellied swallow? Violet green swallow. And I want to see if he just throws the wobbler away. He doesn't go for the wobbler. It looks like another white card that he's reaching for.
Mm.
But that would also be an interesting play to me, is trying to deny those high value birds from everybody else. Saying, listen, I can just tuck them underneath it, turn them into some other bird.
Exactly. It's a great defensive play because Andrew can play that easily.
Yeah. Yeah, Jun's sitting on 5 cards in his hand, and all the other players, I think, really feeling their lack of options right now. Mm-hmm. But I do love how Melinda's board has developed. I think it's a really strong to be able to get such a strong food engine that also nets you an egg every time.
Yeah.
In round 1, that feels really nice. Although Jun is gonna get 4 points for sure for those end of round goals.
Exactly. Well, if I were Melinda, I would just pray that I can get the wood duck.
Yeah.
In my draw. That would be perfect. So wood duck is a bird that lives in forest, but I also can give you 2 card draws whenever you activate it.
Yeah, and just flesh that out so you're getting eggs, you're getting cards, you're getting as much food as you can eat, and then just spam the board.
Spam the board and take it home.
All right.
I think this is the last turn of the first round.
Yeah, it looks like they each have one more cube. I'm not quite sure what the players are waiting for. I think June drew that last card, so he had already tucked and cycled through. I think they just might be...
I think he's still deciding which one to get rid of and which one to tuck.
Oh, because he still has to get rid of one because of the black turn. Right.
Right, yeah. So every time he can draw 4, but he can keep at most 3. But if he's tucking, he can keep 2. So it's actually a very tough decision to be made.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really taking a long time to see the future as to what he wants to invest in.
Exactly.
And the players will never know what card was discarded, leaving them in constant suspense. Was it the killdeer? Was it something delightful? Who knows?
Who knows? And now we have revealed a falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon is I would say it's a pretty decent card for Andrew, because it can hunt for birds that has a wingspan smaller than 100 centimeters.
Yeah.
So it's pretty powerful bird. And yeah, Andrew is drawing cards right now. He just drew one blindly from the deck.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to go for that falcon again if he wants to develop the wetlands.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I would actually do that. Even putting it in the grassland is not a bad idea, but putting in the wetland is even a better idea.
Right. Now, how much do you pay attention to the end of round goals, Angela? When I was commentating on your game with 2023's winner Mike Topshevsky, and we were saying we saw a lot of the end of round goals sort of cancel each other out in a sense. Do you find that is often the case? Do you put a lot of focus on it, or do you just say, if I get them, sure, if not? No worries.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's very situational. Like you said, I think it's better to focus on the last 2 rounds bonus, because they score you more, and when you get score more, also you took away more from your opponents. But if you are like hopelessly away from those goals, like it's okay to just not fight for it. But yeah, if there's one thing that I can make or break between the first place versus third place, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Andrew is trying to migrate a bird into grassland, which is not what I would do, because he's giving away 1 point for the round bonus.
Yeah, I think he has to, though. I don't think it is...
No, you don't have to.
Oh, you don't have to?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, then absolutely. Yeah, he regrets that decision. He puts it back down, keeps it for 1 point, and especially because he's going to need some additional card draw as well. He's got the egg sitting there on the common crow. It just feels like the correct choice to leave it there, for sure.
Yes. Now the card, like one of my favorite cards has just been revealed, is House Finch. The reason I like it so much because I think tuck and draw bird power is the strongest power.
Yeah.
And also this bird has spaces for 6 eggs. And it also has a nest type of bow nest, so it actually works perfectly well for the round straight out. See, that's what they're pointing at right now.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why Melinda's asking. Melinda's seeing, wait a minute, if I get that house finch, can I win that round 3 goal just by putting all the eggs in that one basket? The answer is probably.
Probably.
And it's got great flexibility too. The house finch doesn't cost too much as well. Only
Not too much at all.
yeah, a wheat and a cherry. And being able to have 6 eggs, especially when there's an end of round goal with it, that feels like it's got to be snatched up pretty quick.
Yeah, and it's just like a very strong bird
And I will take this card.
for all games, irrespective of the bonus. Looks like she's getting it.
Yeah, Melinda recognizes that, spends her time with it, knows that she can play it next time if she needs to for a wild food. She'll probably wait and build up to whatever other card she has in her hand, presumably.
Now another wobbler has been revealed.
Yeah, he's already got one of those in his hands, so probably won't be that concerned about it.
Yeah. Unless he wants to deny. Oh, yeah, there's no way Andrew can get it at all.
Because it's going to be wiped after June's turn anyway.
Yeah.
How many birds do you try to get out in your first round?
I think between two and 3.
Yeah.
Like exactly what I would have done. So June is getting more. Oh, he's getting a wobbler.
He does grab it as well.
Mm-hmm. So now we see it in the first round. June has taken the card draw actions 3 times.
Yeah.
And drew a total of 12 cards. So that's a very healthy number.
Right. Yeah, the amount of information, the amount of options that June has been presented with to sort of craft the rest of his game is pretty significant compared to what Melinda and Andrew have been forced to work with.
Exactly. I think Melinda has drawn 2 cards and Andrew 3 or 4, maybe 4. Yeah. But also the food tray right now is pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's the reason June is drawing cards, because maybe he's waiting for someone to reset the food tray.
Yeah, and expects that Melinda will do it pretty soon.
Yeah.
Especially with that house finch picked up from Melinda. She'll want the cherry if she wants to waste it's not really a waste of an action because she gets so much from the food action. Mm-hmm. Likely that will be her first action of the next round, and I think that's probably what June is banking on.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well get a few more options before committing to something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is really exciting just right off the bat, just with these 3 different strategies. They feel so strong in their own right.
They are. Yeah, just by looking at the board, you can see they each have very strong habitats. Yeah, just by looking at the points, Andrew is definitely leading because those crows are pretty high point birds.
Right.
But again, this is only round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also you can see that these players just are good board game players in general. Because Andrew and Melinda, they are not very avid Wingspan players, but you know the amount of intuition they have with the game, I would say, is actually pretty good.
Yeah. And one of the great things too, Melinda just asking clarification from the judge for the starbirds, that will it apply for all of these?
So, for example, there are bonus cards that require birds to eat certain food. And
I mean, yeah, I'm really proud of her. Like, based on the questions
questions
she's asking,
Yeah.
she's not very familiar with the game, but she's doing a very good job.
Right. It's different. Yes, it's different from the
Yeah,
rule.
and making sure that she's clear. But one of my favorite parts about WSBG is that night before, when you get a game that you're unfamiliar with, and then somebody from previous years or somebody who did well in that part will come up to you and say, "Hey, listen, I played in this event. Do you need some help practicing? I'm here. I'll play the game with you." Because I think I saw Jeff Harden, who was the 2022 Wingspan champion, talking with Melinda as well, and giving her some tips before the game, which I love that. I love seeing that community and everybody just wanting people to play as well as they can and give it their best shot and leave nothing on the table.
Yes. And he probably told her that you have to find birds that do different things. That's why she had that.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much the first tip everybody will be giving.
Yeah.
We do that after scoring, although it doesn't really matter.
So yeah, it looks like the crash course definitely worked.
Oh, I see. Yes, that doesn't matter. So I typically do not restock. It doesn't affect the game.
It's so minuscule.
Okay, they're tallying up for the round bonus for round 1, and June has 2 birds, followed by Andrew.
But yes,
Unfortunately, Melinda is scoring 0 right now.
And the cards are going to be just great anyway.
Okay, so second.
Andrew picking up that one point. The judge just saying, Andrew was saying, "Hey, do you want to restock that card that June drew?" And the judge says, "Well, it doesn't really matter because it's going to get either trashed or it's sort of a Schrodinger's bird that it exists or it doesn't exist. If you restocked it, it would go away. If you didn't restock it, it would it would not." But you see that it's
There's something in here. Huh? Oh, yeah.
oh, we see the common. I think the common raven has popped up.
Yes, the raven and the northern harrier and pine siskin.
Wow, that also might pivot Melinda's plans. The raven being one of those 4 birds that we talked about at the beginning that you and you see the recognition on Melinda's face.
Yeah.
Saying, "I'm gonna take it."
It's probably less of a utility for Melinda because she already has a very strong forest engine.
Yeah.
But it is good to have it, especially she has to take it away from June because June just has 0 foot engine right now.
Yeah, absolutely. If that were to get onto June's board, especially with the amount of flexibility he's already gotten himself.
Yep.
Draw bird cards.
And that also works really well because for Melinda, and bad news for June because I think June was very much hoping for a nice bird feeder reset, and now he's still stuck with what's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the forest bird, the siskin, is not a strong bird. Essentially, you can tuck and get 1 seed. It's not a very good power. Okay, now we have revealed, where we revealed? Oh, owl?
An owl, yeah.
Yeah. June has played the northern cardinal in his forest. So when you activate it, you can gain 1 fruit from the supply. So now, yeah, it's a good bird to have.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Especially when it's from the supply too. You don't have to worry about the bird feeder. Melinda still is a little bit dependent on the bird feeder with her red-bellied woodpecker in order to get that 1 wheat. But June now giving himself a chance to get 2 food. All of that card cycle really playing well for him, and a good cost too because you're going to recoup that berry the first time you play it. So in essence, it just has cost you a wheat. Yeah, that's a really exciting play from June.
Mhm. Yeah, right now he has a good cardio engine. He just have to
Yeah.
build a good food engine, and yeah, that's it. Andrew has 2 more cards from the deck, and he's moving his bird to grassland.
Which makes sense. He capitalizes on that extra egg. Now he'll be able to get 2 food and an egg when he activates that as his next turn, which presumably he will.
Melinda now has a perfect food resource to play that Raven.
Yeah.
If she wants to.
Alright, I'm gonna play the Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Oh, it was a Chihuahuan Raven. Yeah, sorry. I think I said common Raven earlier, but it is a Chihuahuan Raven.
All of my food. So the rat and 2 wild.
Yeah, the only downside is that it does not have a nest type that will match up with any of the end round goals. It just has the sticks nest type. But still, Melinda's going to need some eggs soon. I guess maybe not, because she does have that quail up top.
Yeah. Getting food from the forest is actually more efficient for her
Yeah.
than playing the Raven.
It does feel like with her current setup, maybe it would have just been better to get that house finch down first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I sometimes think Raven is a trap, because everybody is talking about how good it is, and feels like you have to play it. But again, yeah.
Yeah, because in terms of the efficiency of actions, right, she probably wants to keep on activating that food action, although you will have to develop your grasslands at some point, because eggs account for so many endgame points, especially at the tail end of the round, where so often in round 4 we see people just wanting to run their egg engine, their grassland engine.
Yeah. Melinda, if she can find a bird like a sandhill, it would be awesome. So basically, you can discard 1 food to top 2 cards.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately for June, no one has reset the bird feeder, so he has to do it himself.
Yeah. He just draws a rat and a cherry from his cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew getting 3 eggs, 2 of them which he will presumably turn into food.
Mm-hmm.
Now having to spend 2 eggs to essentially do what Melinda can do with 1 egg.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And not only that, but also it's taking up 1 more space to this very precious grassland real estate.
Interesting. Is that something that you would be mindful of in terms of the grassland, because wanting to not just fill it as quickly as possible to spam the eggs, I guess, because there's only so much room on each bird as well to hold eggs.
Exactly. Like, look at his current setup. He has 3 birds already.
Right.
None of them are generating any points. But if you have some other bird like falcon or house finch, then we actually laying eggs and generating points.
Right. It's interesting. We see Andrew is going to basically be telegraphing all of his moves from here on out, not moving that down to the wetlands, presumably because he's going to play something into the wetlands, maybe that peregrine falcon that he picked up earlier on.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yep. Melinda is laying eggs into the quail, which makes sense because it works for the round 2 goal.
Yeah, she already had an egg up there too.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for Melinda, the goal is the birds with ground nest, not the number of eggs in a ground nest.
Yeah, it's tough too because there's always so much focus on the Ravens. You're right, but if Melinda were to activate that top row, Melinda gets 1 egg, Melinda gets 3 food essentially, and a point. By activating that bottom row right now, Melinda gets 1 egg and Melinda gets 2 food. So objectively, a worse decision, especially with a reroll. Melinda also grabbed a cherry there, I think, and a wheat, which are the things I think she's going through and realizing right now. You can see her tapping through and just doing that math, saying maybe that was a bit of a misplay.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think that Raven is like the absolutely must play for Melinda.
Yeah, but more of a denial play to keep it out of June's hands. I think that was absolutely the right call to make sure that nobody else could have it.
She has to get it. But I'm not so sure that she has to play it though.
Yeah.
On the other hand, June has played the Eastern Phoebe, I think. Yeah. It is an excellent card for him because, again, it has the star nest.
Another star nest for June. Yeah. That is huge.
Exactly. So right now he's locking up the round 2 bonus with 2 star nests.
Wow.
And also the brown ability is everybody's going to get a worm. Actually, it makes sense.
Yeah,
for him to play it. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just a very generous bird to be playing. I often stay away from those because I don't like everybody getting stuff. I don't want anybody to get something for free. But you like that play?
I think it makes sense for this because look at Melina and Andrew. They both have very strong food production engine going on. So they probably will not benefit from the additional worm as much as June does.
Yeah,
so I think it's Okay, Melina is playing the house finch.
Which also makes it a little bit okay, nicer that the Raven's down now in terms of developing that grassland. I like seeing 2 there instead of 1, but that's tough. Would you have put the house finch into the grasslands there? The house finch could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, it's a very tough thing to say. In general, house finch, I would say whenever I play it, it's more likely to be my grassland. But also, whenever I play it, it might be towards, the round 3 of the game where I was just hoping to get points from house finch.
Right.
But for now, I think Melinda, she's already got a very strong board. She just needs more cards desperately.
Yeah. Yeah, which almost makes me wonder, should it have gone down into the wetlands, or at this point in time in the game, it feels like it feels a little bit late to be developing that wetlands area. And this way, at least you can get food and a card and eggs all in one go. I might have put it up in the forest really to get that 3 food, and then 1 egg. Just then drowning in food. Whatever card you draw, you can hopefully use the open market a little bit. But then again, it would have cost 2 eggs to do.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea actually.
So Andrew, let's go back to Andrew's board because we haven't talked about him for a little while. Andrew did play that falcon like we expected he would. We saw him draw it, and he's now developing that sort of wetland area.
Yeah.
Melinda's sitting at 5 birds. June and Andrew both at 4 birds right now.
So you can choose either from the deck or from the tray. So in general, if you have to draw specifically from the deck, the power text of the bird will say so. If it does not specify, then you may also draw from the tray, or may instead draw from the tray, let's say.
Melinda asking when do I have to draw from the deck, the judge clarifying that, again, yeah, you can tuck a card and you can draw from the tray. So Melinda can use that to her advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me of your name. J-U-N. Jun. J-U-N.
J-O-O-N.
J-O-O-N.
Okay, pronounce it. Do you prefer as Jun or Yun?
Jun.
Okay, and now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna discard an egg from this one.
Melinda, I think, opted just to draw from the deck anyway. She wasn't thrilled by the birds that she saw.
Yeah. I mean, the falcon, the harrier, is a pretty decent draw for her. Because it has relatively strong brown ability.
Yeah. Yeah, again, anything focused around that potential card draw
Yeah.
might be more what she's looking for. But she's moving ahead and at least getting birds down onto the field. Unfortunately, they just don't seem to match up with the end of round goals. I think that highlight of the Phoebe being a really good play for June is also just with those star nests is...
Exactly. It's huge, right?
Yeah, it's really scary. Like June could presumably do a full sweep of the end of round goals. And then that's a hard point disparity to make up from.
Yeah, that's also why I place so much emphasis on card draw, because presumably that's how he gets so many good birds, because he was drawing a lot of cards.
Yeah,
Andrew has
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say he's been cycling through looking for those starbirds and
yeah,
has
probably.
found them.
Andrew has played the double-crested cormorants.
I'm gonna lay more eggs.
So when activated, he can discard a fish to tuck 2 cards behind it. So it's a pretty good point generation bird.
Yeah, and we see he's got 2 fish just sitting there, and it's 2 cards from the deck as well, so you don't have
Yeah.
to have those cards in your hand, which is a pretty important distinction.
Mm-hmm. Melinda is activating her grassland again and tuck and draw from a deck. So maybe she doesn't have a card she really likes.
Yeah. She's at least getting points this way with the Raven there. Maybe that's why, too, she decided to play the Raven, knowing that she needed to play that House Finch down to get that cycle in any way that she could. I like the Raven play being there then, so that she can economize and choose to use the food, or choose to use the egg for the food, or not.
Yeah. She has already got a very strong grassland engine going on. I think last turn, June played the red-breasted gnathatch.
Yep.
It's a cavity nest, so helps with round 4 go. And it's a seed from the supply when you activate it.
So again, point generation. It's also important to get that second bird down into that top row if you want to have 2 food. Now June will be getting 3 food anytime he activates that as well. Putting everybody at 5 birds.
Yep.
This feels really close. I'm still going to give the edge to June right now because of that card draw, and because of that cycle, and because of those star nests too. I think the end of round goals are going to be hard to take away from June at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's potentially, 22 points that's going into June's pocket versus, a maximum of maybe 11. So an 11-point difference if Andrew were to get second in all of them, as Andrew is currently got second place in that first round.
I think Andrew still has some chance to make up if he, just now activate his wetland a lot.
Yeah, that's true. He
Get more
does.
cards.
Yeah, he's gonna get 2 cards at least, and he'll be able to get a bunch of points now every time. Tucking 2 from the deck. Hopefully, his Peregrine Falcon has a really good chance. I think it's like a 73% chance of hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Although we saw in your specific game, there was somebody who who activated that bird that was 100 centimeter wingspan, and it only hit, I think, once out of 5. It was one of the wildest things.
I know. What are the odds? In my game, David also score a point from rolling the dice. Some honeybirds you have to roll a dice.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, and he got it. I was like, wow.
Yeah, with
odds.
1 dice. Yeah. June now loading up on food.
Mm-hmm.
Managing to hit that cherry. Oh, well, you're right. It's cherry from the supply. It's not even from the bird feeder. That's the strength of the cardinal over the red-bellied woodpecker, like we were talking about.
Yeah. The only downside is cherry is not as flexible as wheat, but still.
Yeah.
Andrew's laid eggs.
Yeah. I do like this bouncing back and forth. He can just turn. He's getting so many fish.
Yeah.
Essentially turning 1 point into 2 every time he'll activate that bottom one.
No, just 2 free points because the fish doesn't worth any point, right?
Oh yeah, no, but using an egg to get the fish from his crow.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
And then so -1 point and then +2 points.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet setup. I like it. The only problem is all his birds are pretty much the platform eggs, the sticky,
Right.
the sticks, kind of nest.
Melinda, again, we see that she's activated the lay eggs action 4 times this round, has not activated her gain food action once.
Girl, yeah. I mean, she's gonna run out of egg space very soon if she keeps on doing this.
Yeah.
And it kind of negated what she has built in round 1, right? Like she's built a very strong forest engine. But if she's cycling her card so much, she's just getting so much more food that she's not spending.
Yeah. But it gives her that flexibility. It's just she really has to figure out a way to get some cards. And she's just hoping. I think it's that okay. She's that one card. She's like, okay, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Rather than just drawing 1 card from the wetlands, which makes sense to, you might as well get points along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder if the house finch should have been up into the forest. Could be sitting on mountains and mountains of food. Then no food would be getting 1 less egg, but would be getting the points off of that second bird there that's getting the wheat, the mountain chickadee.
Yeah.
And also, because she would have so much food, she could then be stacking more points and be getting net more points by just laying up that woodpecker as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, point-wise, it's the same, whether she activated from the grassland or the forest. But it's just more efficient to do it from the forest.
Yeah.
It's more food.
I feel like I should draw cards, but I'm already drawing 1 card. I can only draw 1 card. But then I can draw 2 cards and like build this. I want to get something good.
Yeah, Melinda recognizing, she says, I feel like I should draw cards, but I'm already drawing 1 card, saying exactly what we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Just hoping to cycle through to get a good bird that she wants to put in the wetlands. Or hoping to draw that killdeer.
Yeah, killdeer would be great for her. But like we said, there's like 300 each cards in this game.
Yeah.
Banking on that's why you need a lot of card draws.
Yeah.
But I can help you mitigate the odds.
I think we can catch a glimpse of June's hand. I think I only see one warbler in there. So maybe he's already gotten rid of one, seeing where they would have to be placed, knowing that he needed to develop his food engine a little bit more.
Yeah, correct. I mean, if he wants, he can still do it pretty easily because Eastern Phoebe can give him a free worm every turn.
True.
So if he has built a strong grassland, then he would pretty much play that Phoebe for free. And he's getting more food as well.
Yeah. Yeah, now June's sitting with more food than Melinda, who's been just abusing that raven all throughout the... I don't even know how June got there, but again, June taking that game food action 3 times this round as well.
Yeah. And he has got 2 wheat. I mean, two cherries. So to me, that sounds like he might have the 9-point bird, which is another starnet, whose name I'm forgetting right now, but it's another strong bird to play, just based on what food he has got. Okay, Andrew is now drawing cards like what we suspected.
Yeah. Being able to bounce back and forth.
Honestly, if I were him, I would just leave that gross pick at the bottom there.
Yeah, and just bury it.
Yeah, because right now he can get more card draw, and even if he migrated to grassland, he has to spend a food to lay 1 more egg, which is probably not worth it.
Now I'm going to resolve deciding if I want to migrate this bird.
He now has, I think, can't see 5 or 6 cards in his hand.
Yeah, a really nice spread to play with. Melinda just sitting with that solo 1, which is really tough.
Now she has a little bit of dilemma or a little bit sunk cost, right?
Yeah.
She has already got a pretty good grassland mini engine going on. If she doesn't activate that, it feels like a loss. But also, as she's activating it, she's also getting fewer and fewer X spaces.
Yeah.
That's a big bird.
It's a very big bird.
Andrew tries to hunt and no luck for him, unfortunately.
Again, the big birds, they just seem to come out on the final tables.
I know.
June has 2, Melinda comes in second, Andrew has none for the end of round goals. June scooping up 2 of the 4 end of round, which is pretty good. It's starting to extend that, and June also loves seeing the split, the difference between Melinda and Andrew.
I don't mind using the bathroom.
Exactly, they cancel each other out.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna. Is that okay?
We see them revealing the cards, Melinda just running to the washroom. The players will have a think. I think Andrew might also run to the washroom. And we will be back when they are, right after this.
The World Series of Board Gaming is the premier event for tabletop gaming. Players from all around the world come here to put their skills to the test and take home a coveted $3,000 WSBG championship ring. With our grand champion taking home $25,000 and a free ticket and hotel to WSBG for the rest of their life, yeah, we think it's worth playing for. But that's not all. 2024 introduced the Phoenix tournaments, where players could rise from the ashes to take home cold, hard cash. Players won over $8,000 in that first year just for winning 2 games in a row. It's a walk-up tournament where everyone is invited, and players can have their second chance at glory. Throw in the best board gaming library in existence with over 2,500 titles, an open gaming area where you can train with the best, and the daily award ceremonies where we can't stop giving out door prizes. We are building the best and most supportive competitive community out there. This isn't just a convention. It's the most exciting event in the board gaming industry. So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets at WSBGVegas.com and get in the game. Use the code IMN and save yourself up to $35. There's no better time than now.
All right, and our players are back, sitting down. You can just catch Angela walking off in the background. The semifinals of Raw having just finished up. And we're here in the 3rd round of Wingspan at the World Series of Board Gaming's semifinal table. One of these players will move on to that final table, which you know quite well, Angela.
Yeah. And June is the first player right now. I see a pretty good... No, never mind. We see 3 new cards reviewed on the table. All of them are Wetland Birds.
Good news for Melinda.
Good news for Melinda. He's snatching up that blackbird. I'm not exactly sure why he's doing that.
I think because it has a bowl nest would be my guess, if I saw correctly.
Yeah, it does have a bonus, but also it just has 4 points. A little bit expensive to play. Yeah, or maybe he just doing it so the other players cannot get it. Yeah. Not exactly sure.
Protecting his star nest lead, I think. Its power is tuck 1 from your hand behind this bird. If you do, you can also lay an egg on this bird. So you can get some points. You can get some eggs with the yellow-headed blackbird.
Oh,
Oh, he's putting it back. Okay, yeah.
He heard you. He heard your sound advice. I think he was putting it back so that the other players could take a look at it, just because of it being the first round, the first bird that came up, so that they knew what was in his hand.
I see. So now we see a pretty interesting card in the center of the table. American Oyster Catcher.
Mm-hmm.
It has a white power, so everybody, essentially the player who plays it can draw the number of cards equal to the number of players plus 1, and they get to keep 2 from those draws. So might be an okay play for Melinda since she's she's desperately needs some kind of a card draw.
Yeah, not only will it help her with the wetlands if she needs to draw it later on, but she'll be able to get an immediate infusion.
Mm-hmm.
It costs, it's worth 5 points as well. Costs 2 worms.
Mm-hmm.
Which she does have. I feel like we could see potentially an egg activation again to do the tuck and draw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay more eggs.
That's why I like the tuck and draw bird so much, because any kind of good bird comes up, you can get points while getting that specific card.
Yeah, Melinda's still having plenty of space to lay eggs.
Andrew just played a pretty good bird, the Franklin Skull.
Oh, Franklin Skull, and the grasslands up there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty huge play for Andrew as well. Well, maybe not as huge. It would be better for Melinda.
Yeah, exactly. And Andrew, unfortunately, when he activates grassland right now, if he wants to activate all of his birds, it's gonna just net him 0 points because he has to actually spend all these eggs.
But the benefit of Franklin's Gull is it is a star nest, which is going to be very important.
Yeah. If he can play that in round 1, it will be, will be devastating for the other 2 players.
Yeah, Franklin's Gull having that same power as the Killdeer, which is which is discard 1 egg to draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
But this one being a star nest.
Yeah.
Costs 1 extra food than the Killdeer, but still one of those very powerful cards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what I'm really sort of aware of in watching this game specifically is how do you balance out your habitats, right? When do you deviate? When do you improve? The thing that we've been talking about, or I've been talking about a lot in terms of that placement of the house finch for Melinda, right? Mm-hmm. Even the placement of Franklin's Gull for Andrew, and now that grasslands, like you just said, netting him 0 points. How does this balance? Where is that balance to be found? That's where the true beauty of this game, I think, it really lies.
Yeah, where the place also determines how's your engine built up.
Mm-hmm.
I think Melinda is taking a very long minute to decide which card to take.
I think it's got to be the oyster catcher, like you said. That just feels too strong right now for what she needs. Like, she needs a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, she definitely needs a lot of card draw. Yeah, the only problem is that she's also giving the other 2 players a free card as well.
Right. But they've had, again, it's the same argument that we used with June and getting that Phoebe down, which I don't think he has activated, to be fair. So might have just been going for the star nest.
He has activated once.
Oh, once? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now doesn't need to activate it at all because he's got a very strong food engine just sitting on there with
food.
piles and piles. I would be very scared of June this round.
Yeah, I kind of wonder why he hasn't played any birds yet. Maybe he's gonna start right now. All right.
Oh, did we miss it? Like, Melinda drew a card, but she didn't draw the oyster catcher because we're back to June. I thought we were waiting on it.
Huh.
But it's still up there.
She drew another. Okay.
I don't know if we missed something or not.
We probably did.
Yeah, she must have drawn something different. And she also chose not to activate her Raven, I guess.
Yeah, because look at her food. Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to spend a point to do that. On the other hand, June has played another star nest bird, the barn swallow, which is also one of my favorite cards because it's another tug and draw card.
That's 3 star nests for June.
Yeah.
Although if Melinda keeps the amount of eggs, this one is just the number of eggs in that one bowl. Mm-hmm. As long as Melinda doesn't use those eggs, it feels like she's got it pretty locked up with having 6 on that Phoebe, unless June goes on an egg laying spree, which he very well could.
He very well could, yeah. But yeah, if I were him, I would probably put some more birds into the grassland engine before I do that, though.
Yeah.
Andrew just drew 2 more cards using the wetland engine.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think might have been a mistake, because if he can do it the same way in grassland as well, right? Because he has got the Franklin skull, so
Yeah.
he can get actually 2 more food and 2 cards.
But he doesn't get 3 points. He gets 3 points by using his fish down there to tuck behind the cormorant.
Yeah.
And then the peregrine falcon did hit on this one, so he does get that point, which is not a guaranteed point, to be fair.
Right, 3 points. And he moves that grosbeak to the grassland. Yeah.
So he can get 4 eggs and at least get a point.
4 eggs and, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Melinda goes for laying eggs again and now grabs that oyster catcher as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were talking about, she decides, yes, that is the direction that makes sense. The other players have so many cards in their hand, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. June is drawing more cards. Now I see that there's a blackbird in the middle of the tray.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty decent bird. So that bird can let you tuck and lay 1 egg. Oh, yeah. As we're talking about it, he's snatching it.
He snatches it right out of our grasp.
Yep.
Our grasp, because we're there at the table as well. I meant what I said. Yeah, just a mitt full of cards over there with June.
Mm-hmm.
Melinda has been playing that egg game, though. Melinda is very egg rich right now, sitting with, by my count, it looks to be about 14 eggs, maybe 15, but I think 14.
Yeah.
And June's 1, so...
Yeah, she's been activating that grassland for the most of the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Just imagine if she can have, 2 more grassland birds, that would be even stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're revealing a cowbird in the middle. Andrew is activating his grassland. Now he can get 2 food, 1 point, and 2 cards if he chooses so.
Yeah. We'll see if he has enough. He wants to draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Opts for the initial pull of looking to see what you get before grabbing from the tray.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that every player has been very consistent with whenever they've gotten more than 1 card, because the tray birds are going to be there. You might as well assess the new information.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it the same power as something in the tray?
Exactly, and also the birds in the trays are not that good. I'm not exactly sure why he drew that cowbird.
Yeah, the cowbird feels a little bit late to get the full value from at this point.
Yeah. And the cowbird, so that cowbird says whenever somebody else is laying an egg, he can lay an egg in a bird that has a ground nest.
Yeah.
He only has the Franklin skull, which is a star nest bird. So that only has 2 spots for him to lay eggs on.
Yeah.
Oh no, the grosbeak as well.
But also the cowbird doesn't have any egg slots on it as well.
Right,
Too,
and it's only only 2 points. And it also takes a very precious spot on the grassland.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just trying to deny it from the other players. Not so sure the reason.
I mean, to be fair, Melinda has been pushing that lay eggs action pretty much every time.
Right. Yeah.
He's hoping maybe he can get those additional eggs, especially because he's been spending so many eggs as well with his grassland action. He knows he needs a way to recoup those eggs.
Yep.
Play this here, and it costs 2 worms. And when played,
Okay, Melinda is playing the
cards
oyster
equal to the
catcher.
number of players plus 1, starting with me, and proceed
Now she can
clockwise
draw
until
4
players select one of the
cards.
and places in their hands. I keep the extra card. Do I draw? I draw
And
deck, or
each player can pick one. She's
Draw-
gonna take
well,
the
it has
last
to be a
one.
combination of the 2 or just from the deck. But you are allowed to draw birds from the tray for this, just a total of 4 birds. And you can look at the birds
Can
one
I
at a
look
time.
at the ones I draw from here?
Yeah, you can draw one from the deck,
Look at it.
decide whether you want to draw another from the deck or draw one of these. So just
Okay.
4 cards in total.
Okay, so I'm gonna draw this and look at it.
Yeah, Melinda getting some even more flexibility than he might think with that oyster catcher, being able to draw from the deck, decide where you're going to draw from, like the standard Wingspan drawing rules. It's like something that people get tripped up of. Oftentimes, I see it on Facebook or forum posts of people saying, "When can I re-roll the bird feeder?" You can re-roll the bird feeder anytime you need to take food, and there's only one face showing. Doesn't matter if that's a bird card, doesn't, unless it specifically says that you can't. But I know it's that sort of order of operations that if you just abide by the same order of operations when you're playing Wingspan, you shouldn't have too much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to take this card.
Also kind of a really exciting strategy, because if there are not good cards in the bird tray, you say, okay, great, I will put those into my hand. And the other players who don't want them and haven't wanted them this entire game, you can have them. Enjoy.
I'm going to
The card just specifies draw 4 cards. So
A really
But I
sound
mean-
play from Melinda.
Yeah. But I mean, actually, Junkan actually has a very good use for it because he has the
he
tuck
can
and draw
tuck. Yeah.
for the barn. Barn swallow.
And I think that's exactly what Melinda's thinking. Melinda knows that she also has the tuck and draw. So
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than make the pool of cards positive for everyone, let's draw one card and let's make everything else not so good.
Mm-hmm. Now we can kind of have a peek from the top. Joan is deciding between the osprey and the Golinium. Not sure how to pronounce it. It's he got that Golinium, which is a 7-point card. Pretty decent.
That's pretty good, especially when he's sitting on buckets of food.
Yeah. It just gives him options, right?
So I got this, and that was my turn.
Yeah, it's always tough going into that this sort of third round, past the midway point, talking about building that engine, right? Like, and when does the calculation come in for, okay, what if I just run the wetlands for the rest of the game? What if I? Yeah, or the grasslands, or anything. Say you've developed whatever engine you've developed up that nets you 4-6 points a turn. Can other things get you more points than those 6 points a turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like anybody here has developed that enough.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, the trumpet swine.
Yeah, that's a nice
It's a
9-point
very
bird,
nice-
I think.
Yeah, 9-point bird. It's perfect for Andrew.
Yeah, I think Andrew's play has to be now, because he has that flexibility of drawing cards and getting food. He has to grab as many high point birds as he can and try to get his points that way.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's what I did in my finals.
Yeah, you had a lot of really high point birds. I remember
'cause
both you and I remember Mike in 2023. You had a pretty like 53 or 52 points in birds.
Right.
It's too long.
Because I didn't really have like a good engine, then I have to get high point cards.
If anyone knows the bird joke.
And also the pitfall that you can fall into, which we also saw at your final table, is if you're running that grasslands, you can run out of space, and so it might seem like a 6-point turn, and it is for 3 turns, and then it becomes a 2-point turn for the other 2, and not having that awareness, like we were seeing, if you fill up too quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a little bit what Melinda is falling into right now. She's activating the grassland engine a bit too early. Okay, Andrew.
But I think she had to out of necessity, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think if I were her, probably at the round 2 or round 3, I would still be building up my grass wetland a little bit more.
Yeah.
Andrew is laying eggs. Cool, and he's making space for putting more grassland birds, probably.
Yeah, we also saw June drop down Brewer's blackbird, which is not the yellow-headed blackbird. That one was the one that he picked up that we were talking about earlier. All of the blackbirds have a bull nest, so contributing to the end-of-round goal for this one. You can tuck a card from your hand and lay an egg on this bird, which for June right now, sitting with that mitt full of cards, probably is going to help him fight Melinda on that end-of-round goal.
Yes, and every time he activates his grassland, it's a net 6 points. It's pretty sweet. Andrew, did he? Okay. Did he finish?
Going good.
Because he didn't get the trumpet swan. Oh, okay. So he's drawing a card blindly from the deck. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but that's his first. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew, yeah, you need that swan.
Melinda right now calling out June as the strength of his board. It does feel really balanced still on their board makeup, but I think again June having the edge with Melinda calling him out, saying, "Listen, you got 9 points over us right now, just based upon the goals."
Yeah. And for activating grassland, Melinda is getting 4 points if he's not using the Raven, but June is getting 6 points.
Melinda soon won't have that room.
Yeah.
But I guess Melinda was pretty happy with the card that she drew using the oyster catcher for then taking the entire row.
Now the suspense is, what did she draw?
bonus action. I'm gonna discard from another bird. I'm gonna take 2 from the supply. What am I gonna take?
Making good use of that Raven, has completely pivoted to the Raven since that Raven came up.
Let me just double check. Yes, that is what I will do.
Okay.
Okay.
June's gotten a lot of value from his food as well. He was sitting on a big amount of food, but all of his birds, they're lower point birds, but
Yeah.
they're also low food costs, which is enabling him to play them down.
Out of birds' values, I think Andrew is doing pretty good.
Yeah. And especially with picking up that swan as well, we can expect that will be played.
That'll be a net 7 points for him. Pretty sweet. June's activating the blackbird, getting an egg and attack.
Yeah, and we see him laying all of his eggs on the starbirds, making a play to try to take that away from Melinda.
Yeah. Now he has more egg spaces for the bow nest than Melinda. He chooses to lay more eggs.
Yeah. Which I imagine he will.
And imagine he will as well. Yeah, it's a net 3-point difference. So it's like a 6-point swing. So
Yeah.
I think he's trying to decide if he wants to activate the Eastern Phoebe.
Right. Yeah, seeing if he benefits enough from it to give the other players that extra worm.
Yeah, I think he absolutely should because he has Wobbler and
Yeah.
the other players. I don't think they care more about one with worm. Okay, he's deciding on the tuck and jaw.
Yeah, that's really nice, getting those additional tuck powers, those additional points through it.
Yeah. He drew the Sandpiper.
And a pretty immediate decision. Everybody gets a worm.
Right, exactly.
Over to Andrew.
Andrew is playing a bird. And he's playing a bird.
He's going for cowbird.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty much guaranteed to get 5 eggs out of that. There's not a world in which either June or Melinda won't activate the eggs very consistently.
So that's a 6-point net, right? Because he has to spend 2 eggs to play that bird.
Gonna pay an egg.
But
it does let him access that 4 egg generation, which maybe he was looking for as well.
But I kind of wonder what he has in hand, because he has drew quite a bunch of cards. I
Yeah.
don't need grassland bird at all. Otherwise,
Yeah.
What else is that? And I will pay 2 beats.
It is tough, right? Because he has no point generation in that row other than just the 4 points. And as we've seen, June with three birds down can get 6 points, whereas Andrew's now dependent upon other people to even get him to that 5-point aspect.
well, Melinda just had a pretty great turn for herself. She has placed down 2 birds in one go, and that is probably the best bird that she can hope for her. The sandhill crane, because you can get rid of one seed to get to tap 2 cards. It's amazing. It's just such a nice combo with the Raven.
Yeah, and that was the crane that you were talking about a little bit earlier as well.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to drop them both down at the same time gives really nice efficiency. Hits that 4-egg spot as well. Now has developed that grassland a little bit more.
Yeah.
Is looking at a 7-point turn running that engine. Although I don't know if she has the space for it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the quail still holds 5 more eggs. The raven need 3. Oh, and the bluebird has 5 eggs. So she does have a lot of space.
Mm-hmm. But we have 6 more turns, and if she can lay 4 eggs, she needed like more than 20 spaces in order to fully run that engine.
Andrew making good on that cowbird's power, which he needs to, but he knows that his competitors will be laying eggs, as that's now both of their strongest engines.
Yeah.
Not a single person has picked the gain food action this time around.
I have to say, with a limited amount of card draws Melinda has, she has really good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, sitting with 8 birds out too, compared to the 7/7 of June and Andrew. Although I think Andrew's point value is probably still higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sandhill Crane being only worth 5, Bluebird being worth 4, so around the 4 and the 5 for a lot of Melindas.
Everybody gets one. After you're done, I'm going to resolve my once between turns. I put the egg on the bird, but just kind of nest.
Did Andrew forget to activate his power? Okay, he's activating it right now.
Oh yeah. He was just waiting for June to be finished, just in case June, I think, changed his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually my turn.
Okay, so that's the last turn for this round.
Yeah. That was expected by June. June now sitting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eggs in the bowls. And I think Melinda just at 6 with that.
I know.
Oh, with that house finch.
That house finch.
Wow. Because that's the only one that she had.
Yeah, that's why June kind of had to take the late egg action for his last action. So he can, secure his first position. Andrew, on the other hand, is finally on the board. Now he has at least 1 egg.
Yeah, he's dropping 4 eggs down. It's not going to be enough. even if he had the egg. So he's shifting his view to next round's goal.
But he only has one bird that comes to that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Melinda, I think she has 1, 2, 3. Melinda has 3, and June, again, because of his starbirds, is leading on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think June is slightly leading on that farm as well.
And I think we heard Melinda say, I just have 6. I can't do anything about that. Realizing and recognizing that June has taken what seemed like a sure thing.
Yeah. That blackbird, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, it's okay.
And he didn't even activate blackbird in the last turn. Maybe he just like his birds too much. And he's like, okay, 7 is enough.
When I had the opportunity, I messed up, I guess.
I was trying to match you and get one more.
Yeah, good job. It's okay. It's not over till it's over.
Melinda congratulating June, saying, good job. You got me in the bold birds. Melinda saying that she threw away a bold bird in lieu of the crane.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's very unfortunate.
Oh, Melinda just being forced to draw bird cards.
Oh no.
That's a tough final turn.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're playing very high point birds, I normally don't play birds on my last round.
Yeah.
Especially that she has a very strong grassland engine, but she has to, right? Because she's running out of egg spaces.
Yeah. Yeah, she has to at least play one more.
Yeah.
If she wants to make full value from it. And
okay.
I think she also probably doesn't have any cards in her hand, so she needs the cards in order to be able to have that tuck and draw.
Exactly.
Because she emptied her hand out with the bluebird sand crane combo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take this one.
Oh, she drew the opposite.
Yeah.
And she's playing back. So opposite says whenever anybody else is laying an egg, she can lay another egg in a ground nest.
Which is not bad, but it doesn't feel like Melinda needs that extra egg generation based upon the amount of spaces that she has.
No, she doesn't. And also, yeah, it's a ground nest type, which she doesn't really need.
Yeah.
So that was 2. This doesn't do anything, and I am done for my turn. And now this.
No, because we're done with the round. So let's do round scoring.
I have 7.
I have 6.
I have 1.
So June gets his 3rd end of round goal.
Oh man.
7 and 6. Melinda getting that 2nd place. Melinda sitting with 5 points from end of round goals. I think Andrew's sitting with 2, and June currently sitting with 15.
Okay, yeah, so he's leading by at least 10. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a pretty healthy lead. In terms of,
Just starting round 4 now.
yeah.
And especially when all the boards feel fairly balanced, that feels like, again, it could tip the scales, like we've been talking about. And our players head into round 4, only 5 actions remaining, starting back to our first player, Andrew Law in seat 1. Can he channel his animal wrangling skills from Arc Nova?
Yeah, because birds in Aknoma are actually also pretty strong as well. But Andrew's favorite animal are monkeys. He told me that, so.
Yeah.
Now we see wild turkey. It's actually a very decent card for Andrew as well.
Yeah.
8 points.
And has 5 egg spaces too.
Yeah, he can play the trumpet swan, grab this card, play it. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense for Andrew to be going for these high point ones. He's got a lot of food. He's not really, his egg-laying engine grassland is 4. It's not strong enough to overpower the using that food that he's accrued. He's sitting on a lot.
To lay eggs. And 4 eggs.
But he opts for the lay eggs action to start. That seems somewhat surprising to me. Unless he needs more food, but
Let's see if he gets that turkey, because that turkey works perfect for Melinda as well.
yeah.
She can easily get food for turkey, and
Yeah.
she needs an egg space.
And that would be a great tuck and draw candidate for Melinda to pick up. Drop down to that fifth egg space.
This doesn't do anything. I want to activate the goal. I will not activate the crow.
The only reason I could see Andrew wanting to lay eggs right now is if he has a double play where he needs 4 eggs to play 2 cards.
Makes sense. He can double play in the wetland. That's what I did in my game.
Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't activate any birds,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. I mean, I would actually at least get that wild turkey for defensive play.
Yeah. But I think we've got to see Melinda scoop up that wild turkey right now. That just
I hope
feels
she does.
way too valuable
Yeah.
for her situation.
Yeah.
It's the exact bird that she needs. It creates more space,
High points.
high points. It's also easy for us to be seeing this in retrospect as well. As you know, WSBG is a marathon of an event, and these players have been playing for 4 days straight. They stayed up late. Nerves are running. All your brain is firing. You're just trying to focus and try to optimize as best that you can. And I think all of our players here at this table have been doing a really great job. They've been pursuing their individual strategies very well.
Yes. Like I said, they are very strong players.
Yeah.
I think they've all played a very decent game. I think Melinda was asking whether she can turn 2 worms into a wheat to use Crane's power, and the judges said no, you can only do that when you're playing a bird.
So I'm gonna touch 1. And I'm gonna draw 1.
She's stuck enjoying. Let's see.
Here's the tuck.
Oh, okay. Turkey.
Oh, go for the turkey.
Go for the turkey, girl. Cannot get a better one than turkey. Well, maybe she can get a wobbler, but we already see 2 wobblers gone. Okay.
And she snagged the turkey. Nice grab from Melinda.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if she gets a food for turkey.
This bird.
Yeah, she needs to start. She needs to get at least 1 wheat to make good on the crane.
Mm-hmm. So it's best if she can get 2 wheat, right? So she can save 1 wheat for a turkey and another wheat for the crane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take wheat and wheat.
And honestly, too, if all she wants to play is the turkey, she could use those 2 worms as a wheat to make sure that that she has the wheat saved up, potentially saving that 1 point, eking out that 1 point.
Oh, okay. Another high point bird. It's another owl. I think by now, he can start placing high point cards, or put more card. Oh, okay. You put. Okay.
Oh, that's a bonus card.
It's a bonus
think.
card.
Drawing
Bonus
2,
card.
yeah.
Draw 2 and keep 1. Bonus cards, I think they each, good rule of thumb is they each worth about 3 to 4 points on average.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, like just playing Wobbler or just straight laying eggs is also a safe bet for him.
Yeah. It's also tough. How do you feel about drawing a bonus card this late in the game? Because you're not going to be adding many birds to it. And so you're relying solely upon the luck of the draw of have you completed the X amount of whatever your cards are at that point.
Yeah.
Turn powers that are triggered by another player's choice of one of the 3 habitat actions. It, strictly speaking, activates after the player collects the resources before they start activating ground powers. In practice, it matters very little.
So you just choose the action, I take the stuff.
So for example, if she laid eggs, she would lay her 4 eggs. That would be the time to activate the power. It doesn't.
Saw you on the background, Chris. Is that you?
That's me in the background, yeah. I was more in disguise. I had my beard at that point. The judge just clarifying, too, Andrew's been waiting for them to run their whole effect before activating the power, but in terms of it activating, as soon as they get their egg resources, that's when also Andrew would get his egg. The making account for the very small closet case of birds where it's everybody lays an egg on this specific type, and you have had only one spot available for that specific type, right? I think those are the reasons behind it, but just clarifying for the player's knowledge at the table.
I will discard this egg.
Andrew is laying more eggs.
This egg.
He's getting more food. Okay, his plan is probably just play all his cards in hand.
Yeah. Get a bunch of high points to finish it out. Grabbing more fish.
Well, hopefully he gets the double turn.
Yeah.
That we were hoping for.
It is a bit. I guess he needed more food, right? Like that's the only reason to trigger that grassland action again. It just feels like a really tough, inefficient action, especially when he's getting 4 points. He just used it to get 1 food. Like he got 3 points of food with that turn, which doesn't feel great at this stage of the game.
No.
Especially when even if he had activated the draw cards, he would have gotten almost 3 points. You know, and so it's very similar in terms of low value engine scoring.
Yeah.
So he must be sitting on some big cards for his last 3 actions, just going to drop.
Melinda, I hope she can. Yeah, I think she needs to activate her grassland engine.
Yeah, but she's choosing to play the American Avocet down in the wetlands, which
what?
I'm not sure why she's doing that. That's a tough play.
She's got the wild turkey. She should have laid eggs, activate the crane, the tuck and jaw. So that's 7 points.
Yeah.
Minus the turkey, minus the raven, 6 points, and she can play turkey next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she can have one more card for tuck and jaw for her last turn. I think that's just like strictly better play, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. The Avocet's worth 6 points. You also, when another player takes the lay eggs action, lay 1 on another bird with a ground nest. So she will potentially get that extra value of up to 8 points by playing it there, because minus the 1 for the play, presuming that June's gonna lay eggs for a lot of his play, but we see him not do that.
June just placed down a 9-point bird. Yeah, that's a bird I was talking about. The pipits that scores 9 points, and also a star nest, another star nest.
Yeah, that just feels like a little bit not enough, especially because it also doesn't, the Avocet that Melinda played doesn't have the correct nest type either.
Correct. Yeah, it's a bit too late to play that card.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew's got the third wobbler, because we know that we got 2, and so he's got the last one. So it's very nice. A straight 8 points for him.
And a free 8 points, essentially. I don't think Andrew ever had to get those worms on his own, thanks to that Phoebe.
Yeah. And we know he still has a swan. But he has 2 fish. Yeah.
Yeah, Melinda laying eggs. Also, the Avocet only having room for 2 eggs. You just wish that turkey was down there.
Yeah, I know.
Now going to this step, I'm going to discard them. Top 2 from the deck. Going to this one.
Oh, but now she has to tuck and draw that turkey.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah, it should be the other way around.
Oh no, she does go for the tuck and draw the turkey. She's giving up the turkey and just thinking to activate that grassland.
Is she gonna get the owl?
Yeah, I guess the owl's also worth 8 points.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's 3 worms. She doesn't go for the owl either. Oh, that's just a heartbreaking to have to make that decision. Whatever she's looking at certainly can't look better than the turkey.
Exactly. I hope she's getting at least 2 wheat. For that crane.
Yeah, she opts for the 2 wheat, knows that she can activate it, just get those 14 points and call it a day. As long as she doesn't run out of space, which I think she might. Maybe not, though, because only 4. She's 7. Yeah, she's got enough space. 7 to 10. And maybe that's why she felt she didn't need to put the turkey down.
Nothing happens when I max out on the...
Thought that she could get a little bit more value back from the Avocet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she does have the space. And she is getting a little bit more value from the Avocet. So potentially, she's already gotten 6 points out of that now, versus the 6 points she would have had for the turkey. As long as she doesn't run out of room, then the Avocet is okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, it just felt like she had been using that egg-laying action so much that she would run out. But most of her additional points were coming from tucking versus the additional eggs, so...
But it's a very strong finish for her, because right now she has... Every time she lay eggs, she's net 7 points because she doesn't need to use a raven anymore.
Yeah.
And June just laid eggs.
Lots of eggs.
He probably would lay 1 more egg, and he may play the wobbler, or he may just lay more eggs.
Yeah.
You were very strong bonuses, and I think you're gonna get the last one.
Yeah, laying eggs actually gives him more points right now. Oh yeah, so Andrew has that. Yes.
Here's the double play.
The double play. I think that's pretty similar to what I've done in my final game.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great play again by all of the players.
Yeah. Really nice. Andrew getting a lot of big points there with those plays.
Mm-hmm. It's only unfortunate that all his birds doesn't really meet any of the round bonus.
Yeah. And I think the tough part too for Andrew was those first two actions being the lay eggs that he had to build up to this so much. Whereas both Melinda and June were getting a little bit more value from that lay egg action.
Yeah. Well, I really hope that Andrew has a bonus card hitting his hand that rewards the number of platform nest.
Yeah.
He has a lot of those.
Can I just get my egg right there?
Yes.
I guess it doesn't really matter, honestly. Doesn't matter. I have to get those birds.
Well, what is Melinda doing? She's laying eggs. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she was saying, I guess it doesn't matter because
Yeah,
it doesn't.
But she needs to keep those ground nest spaces open for her after.
Yeah, so it does matter in a little bit.
Yeah. She tucks two. Yep.
She'll do that tuck and draw.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter anymore.
I would still probably grab the barn owl, but I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
Exactly.
No one's gonna go for it. Nobody has the rodents. It's better to leave it out in the row because no one's gonna get it, rather than reveal something that's incredible for some reason for June to activate drawing cards.
Another raven.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gotta go. The killdeer. You gotta go for it now. 1 point. 1 point killdeer. -1 to put it into your grassland engine.
6, 7, 7, 4, 6.
I think it should be pretty obvious what each player would do for the last turn.
Yeah, I think that's also going to hurt Andrew too, though, because Andrew doesn't really have. He's got a 4-point play, right? Like the other players are getting 6 and 7, and he's been resigned to 4 for now 3 of his 5 last turns.
Yeah. There's no need to get food. What? She's still getting food? I think she only has. Don't do it. She only has one more play.
Yeah, unless she's gonna build the bird that she just drew. Unless that bird is worth more than 7 points.
Yeah, exactly. That bird must be a 9-point card for her to do that.
Am I counting that right? I'm getting 7 points when I play this row, right?
And a star nest bird.
Then I
Was that
Although she wouldn't have time to.
So 7.
I mean, she has the opposite that probably can get her another bird, another egg. But, but I don't think she's winning that race.
Yeah, the only other reason I could see doing it is her knowing that she doesn't have the space anyway, and knowing that her competitors will take the lay eggs action, so she'll be guaranteed those sort of egg spots, and then she can have more food for the tiebreaker. Would be the only other consideration.
Also, she could have like a end game bonus in her hand that she can.
True.
Be the point.
She's saying it's a 1 point difference. Please be the point. So she's calculated it out. She'll get one
Okay.
extra point by doing it this way.
Yep, that makes sense.
4 eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, June obviously activates his lay eggs action. A bit surprising that that June did decide to activate the Phoebe last turn.
Yeah, unless he's still deciding to play the Wobbler or something else.
Oh yeah, for his final move.
Yeah.
I think
But
that could be
Wobbler-
it.
Unless he's banking at end game bonus, Wobbler doesn't score him more points than
Right.
laying eggs.
Yeah, it must be an endgame bonus sort of thing.
Yeah.
Don't call it that. It's 4 syllables. Well, it gives 1.
But also that can maybe make Andrew have enough food to play another bird instead of
Yeah. Yeah, because
Doesn't
Andrew
matter
was
if I
sort of
So I have 2.
but he
the
goes for
tiebreaker.
eggs, so it doesn't make a difference to Andrew's hand, but it is a bit dangerous.
Get ready for it in the meantime.
I'm gonna use these foods.
I don't think many birds that lives in grass in forest takes fish.
Oh, so I don't even like the tiebreaker. June has 3. Shoot. Oh well. I think it's too far ahead. My turn. My final move.
Okay, Melina is gonna play the final bird. Hopefully it's something good. What does she have?
Shit.
Oh, okay.
It's the same.
It's a 9-pointer.
She realizes it's the same
So it ended up being the same. Did all that matter?
because she has to pay an egg for it.
I think it's the same.
At least you would go for a
7?
smart
7. Yeah,
Well, but
exactly
that
7 'cause I gave up
denies
my gear,
Andrew
not
one
giving
more
up
point
food.
though.
So
If she
9
lays an
minus
egg,
2.
Andrew can activate.
Yeah, exactly.
Did all that.
Although June's probably going, oh no, June probably will play because that's the reason why he's done his Phoebe. So it really
Yeah.
actually might be a good play because it does deny Andrew that 1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when those pink powers are in play.
Since it's the same.
If it's then the same for
I'm
you,
gonna lay eggs.
it's not the same for everybody.
For a tiebreaker.
Mhm.
Not that it matters.
What?
Oh, she says, even since it's the same, I'm going to lay eggs so that I have the tiebreaker. So
What if
Andrew
you
does get
win?
that extra egg.
Okay.
It's funny she's letting go 1 point instead of a tiebreaker because I hope she realized that Andrew's not
Yeah,
get a point.
now she's looking over and saying, wait, but what if you win?
Here we go.
She says, you know what? I've made my choice. I hope she has the space for all those eggs.
What happens when you do the you lay an egg?
Does
on
she?
the,
She has 1, 2 from what I can see. I cannot see her last row.
that's what it was.
Yeah, she's got 2 up on that quail, though, so I think she's okay.
Mm.
And you still have a turn. I'm gonna remove this. 2 eggs here. Egg here. I was laying eggs. Discard this. Tuck 2. Tuck this.
I think this is going to be close just based around board position, but you still have to hand it to June just because of those end around goals being the main distinction.
Mhm.
Although Andrew's played a lot of high value cost cards,
Yeah.
or high point value, I should say.
Yeah, and June also has 2 endgame bonus in his hitting his hand. So,
Yeah,
but his bird points
I'm so
are
nervous.
lower compared to
You might
others.
be-
Draw 2.
Oh, he's going for another.
he's going for another bonus card. Wow.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Sorry, is it?
Maybe
that-
he'd already thrown away the Warbler.
June, that's what
You
I
know,
thought.
early
I was like,
days had decided he
am I
wasn't
pronouncing
committing to it.
June.
Mm-hmm. But that
Should've
is also a
corrected me.
star nest, so maybe it helps
How
with his
embarrassing that I
other
said
His-
endgame
his-
bonus in
yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
Not the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's June, right?
It looks like pretty easy choice for him, so
Top score, end of round
maybe he's
goals.
got a good one.
So it's cavity nest birds
Yeah.
with eggs in them.
Marina is like,
2,
I'm tired.
3.
Okay, so they're tallying up the points right now.
June has 6. Wow. Melinda has 3. Andrew
Keep his final scoring.
gets a consolatory 1 point there.
Would one of you like to do the scoring, or would you rather that I tabulate it?
I don't know how to score because
Okay.
I've never.
Okay, let's start out with bird points.
Yeah, Melinda's saying, I don't know how to score. I've never played this game. I played 1 game, and it was Splendor. And you made it to the semifinals, and you've done a fantastic job, Melinda. Everybody
I'm
at
so
this
proud
table.
of you. Yeah, I'm so proud of Melinda.
A really, really good game from everybody around the table.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's just do each
Fantastic
scoring.
play.
Let's do
But
it.
unfortunately, after round 1, Melinda didn't use her
Yeah.
forest at all.
10, 20, 27.
So it looks like 52 points in birds for Andrew, though.
Oh my god.
That's I think that was your exact points for birds, Angela.
5.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
He's got so much tucked.
33 for Melinda.
Oh my.
Mm.
21, 22, 25, 28, 31, 35.
Right, bonus cards.
June probably has a
35 for June.
35.
Actually, with that in the end round goals, that's pretty close to Andrew. Like, it's pretty even.
6,
Mhm. But Andrew, maybe he has the least amount of eggs. Okay, so he's okay. He scores.
Yeah, he scored 7
Yes,
points for his bonus
okay.
cards.
So,
3 points for Melinda's bonus.
Hmm.
And now we'll see what June has.
round nest. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points.
Yeah, he's definitely banking on that.
Yeah.
All the star boards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another 6 points. Birds with talking power.
Ooh, so he's already got 13.
6 points.
Okay. That's a total of 19.
So another 6 points. Wow, 19 points
End of round goals.
for bonus cards. That's huge.
Andrew has-
I don't think my mess up would have made a difference.
Oh,
19 is it's like one of the highest I've ever seen for bonus cards.
Yeah,
9.
that's really strong, really good value to get 766.
Eggs.
You are
13.
master of Wingspan. End of round goals and bonus cards.
I think June is well above 100 by this point.
Yeah, June's with 22,
2.
currently with 22, and 19 from the bonus cards, and then 35. 26 eggs for Melinda, though. 13 for Andrew.
0. You have 2. Alright, tuck cards.
And June got 12
Is that 4?
for his eggs. So I think it's going to come down to those bonus cards between Andrew and June.
I'll count it when you're.
You said 5?
Yeah, Andrew had a lot of value in those birds. But having 19 and then the 22 in the end of round goals too, that combination, that just feels like Andrew was ahead of June 17 points for those. And now June also gets to count as tuck cards,
9,
which
10,
well, I guess Andrew has a few.
13,
Mhm.
14, 15, 16.
That's 11.
Yeah, so that
Only 11?
I think Melinda is also doing very good tuck cards as well.
Yeah, Melinda beat everybody with tuck cards, 16. June had 11, and Andrew had 5.
The eggs already?
Judge calculating the score right now.
Yes. And you have 13 eggs, is that correct?
I feel so nervous, even though I already knew the result.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
3 points for Andrew.
83 for Andrew.
40.
It's not bad. Pretty good. Melinda.
Yeah, 52 of those 83 came from his birds.
Yeah.
89 for Melinda. Melinda in second, or in first right now.
76. 88.
Great play.
90. 101.
Oh my god.
All right, that's a very good game.
101.
Well, it's
101 for June, 89 for Melinda, and 83 for Andrew.
My mess up in the beginning would have.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what I
Awesome,
how I
like
messed up
great
was I took
points,
that owl,
good, great
so that
score
every
for
time I
all of
played
them.
Here, and every time I laid eggs,
Especially, I want to give it up for Melinda. She's obviously not very familiar with the game, but
caught up.
you know, and under such high pressure, she can score
Yeah.
89 points.
Yeah,
very awesome.
that's very good. I forget what your final score was at your
played,
table, Angela, but I feel like it was like 92.
Yeah.
I feel like
It was 90. It was 90.
It was 90? Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Just one shy of the Wingspan champ. These, I mean, obviously every game of Wingspan is different under different conditions. You got to deal with whatever. But yeah, like huge congratulations goes out to all of these players for sure.
I hope so, because I didn't.
Yeah, the players just discussing other moves that they could have made as we let them go. But it is June who moves on to that final table. That was an exciting game.
Yeah, it was very exciting. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm really curious what Melinda has in her starting hand. Like even if she had just one more wetland card,
Yeah.
she would have got it.
Yeah, she also mentioned, she said, I feel like I made a mistake just at the tail end there. She said, I feel like I made a mistake where I had an owl in which I wanted to include into this row to like trigger this for my engine, but she gave it away and she couldn't quite get it. But yeah, it is June Kim, the Castles of Burgundy. There's something in the water for Castles of Burgundy players, Angela. I got a sneaking suspicion. You know, they seem to always make their way into the finals, and if you haven't seen the final table, well, they might do pretty well. Who knows?
Yeah, you know what? If in order to win WSBG, you have to win Castles Burgundy.
It might be the secret sauce. Angela, thank you so much for commentating on this with me. It was a joy to have you here. That flew by like that, and it was just so lovely hearing your insight. And hopefully, everybody at home, you appreciate all the insight and can use those tips for your next game of Wingspan.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chris. It was a lot of fun.
And if you haven't gotten your ticket to WSBG, tickets are still available. You can get them at WSBGVegas.com. Angela, I assume you will be coming back in 2025?
Hey, I'll be coming back every year.
That's true. And why is that?
Because first of all, because I really love this event. I always have such a great fun, and I would love to see Chris again in person.
Oh, you charmer.
But also another reason is like for the rest of my life, I can come to play at WSBG for free. So yeah, it's like the best gift I can get.
That's true. As our reigning champion, you get to come back every time for free. And who knows, for one of you watching right now, that could be you, and that will be you in 2025. Angela, do you have anything to say about people who haven't attended the event and might be a little bit nervous to do so?
I would say just come. Like I didn't really have an expectation at all. But I had a great experience, and I also, I didn't think I was gonna win, but I actually got, I did pretty well for both years. So yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I'd say you did pretty well for both years. Just being able to go back to back and win in 2 different games, I'd say that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, let's see what next year brings us.
We'll see what next year brings us. Angela, thanks again for commentating. For everybody watching, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We will have more WSBG content coming to you every Monday until we get through all the games. Thank you so much. And from all of us here at the World Series of Board Gaming, what are you waiting for? It's time to get in the game.